You gotta be wrong before you're right.
Yes.
That's a lyric in Growing Pains, right? So is there a mistake that now at your career you can look back and be like, you know what, I made this mistake, I was wrong here, but I learned, and then the next time I did it right?
Man, let me think of anything. Every day. I don't know. I can't think of anything like specifically, like as an artist. I guess, I mean, everything that I didn't get to do the last album, like I didn't open up as much, which I kind of wish that I had a little bit more, maybe because it would have helped someone. But I'm doing it now, so I'm trying to make it right now.
How many songs on this album started in your diary?
A lot of them. Pretty much all of them. Like, these are all really, except like with the exception of one song, which is about a friend of mine, actually. I know that sounds like it's fake, like it's about a friend, it really is. But the rest, they're all about, they all started from a personal experience, like a diary note, like in my phone or in my physical journal and stuff like that.
So I want to like dive right into this process.
Okay.
So you're hit with something, a moment, whether it's an interaction with somebody or you're hit with some form of inspiration or some form of emotion. You put it right in your diary, or do you digest at the end of the day? Like, how do you document what's being thrown at you?
I think for me, like, it's weird. I'll like collect a bunch of, like we all do as people, like we just collect little experiences and stuff, and like, I don't know. But for me, every time I go to write a song, I just have, I know this sounds like so stupid. It's gonna sound really songwritery and like lame, but I get like this weird like itch, like this feeling that I need to stop everything and like just write something down or like sing something into my notes or get my guitar. It's like a weird itch, and I just know I need to like go away for a sec and get it out. And then I do, and those are usually the songs that I keep. For me, like if a song takes way too long to write, or if I sit there like, what am I going to write about today? Like that usually never works for me. So that's how I kind of, I don't know. Chris Martin always says that like songs are already there and like we're just vessels for them. And I wasn't really sure I understood that until recently. Yeah, until I started getting that feeling like they're already there and it's there. I just need to like know when to like get one out of the sky.
And it's there because you collect all these experiences, and then when I guess it boils over.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, I need to write about this. Or sometimes as the experience is happening, it's like, no, this is something like, I don't know. It's weird.
Are you going into the studio with the song and the lyrics pretty much done?
Yeah, for this album, I wrote everything prior to going in. Yeah, I wrote everything on my own this time. Because, I mean, it's so personal. I just didn't, number one, I just wasn't comfortable sharing it with another writer. And also, I just wanted to take a stab at it on my own. Like, I want to do this by myself. Thanks.
That's, like, maybe people don't understand, but I think musicians out there will understand how hard it is to write an album on your own.
I know. I could see like the eyes of everyone on my team, like as I said that, like in the beginning, like, oh okay, trying to be supportive but like scared because it's the dreaded second album. But it worked out. I hope. I don't want to speak too soon because it's not out, but I'm gonna just pretend that it's good. I like it.
But so, did you put pressure on yourself? Did you ever feel like there was a giant clock ticking that you needed to get all this stuff out on? Like we've had Charlie Puth sit on this couch and he did his whole album too, pretty much top to bottom, like all the production.
I can't do that yet.
But dude went nuts, you know, like it drove him a little crazy.
At first, I definitely felt the pressure of it because, you know, like there's anticipation for your second album. There's never anticipation for the first because no one knows you, you know? But this time it was like a little bit of a clock, not even a clock, just like a little bit of like this cloud of pressure, like, can she do it? Can she not? You know, I don't want to let anybody down and come back to my team being like, oh, I have nothing. Because I basically begged them to trust me with this one. So of course you want it to be good. But I think as I went on, pretty quickly after I started, like it just kind of happened so naturally. And again, like that thing of just things happening naturally. I don't know if someone in the universe is like just on my side for this one, but it's just really been a natural process, and so many things have happened to me where it's just I need to get stuff out, so it doesn't feel like writing an album as much as it feels like
how long
like talking, you know.
We just like you're backlogged on things to just kind of get off your chest.
Exactly. It's been a long time. You know,
when did you start writing this album?
The first song I wrote was Growing Pains, actually, which was about a year and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So, okay.
Yeah.
before a year and a half, like how long worth of experiences were you kind of like saving up? Like how much life did you live before like getting into the writing zone?
Probably like right after Here dropped.
Got it.
Yeah, because like when Here dropped, I had the whole album written already. So everything since then has been like unwritten until I wrote the album. So I was saving it all up.
So what do you learn about yourself after completing this album?
Well, I learned that I can write an album, which is
There you
really
go.
cool by myself. I hope, again, don't want to jinx it if it sucks.
I mean,
but
you did
hope
it. It's
good.
done,
I did it. So I didn't say
Yeah.
I could write a good one. I said I could write
Exactly.
an album. So
Did you write Know It All, or is that?
yeah, I did that with Sebastian Cole though.
Okay.
So he like I worked with him throughout everything. So it was weird to like let him go because he felt like he was like the cone in the road, like, you know, the my supporter and the guy I could always fall back on, you know. But yeah, this time I was like, man, I think I want to do this by myself. And he was really supportive of it. He was like, cool. Yeah, so I did. That's one thing I learned. And I don't know. I guess I learned a lot about my feelings, and I made them more like tangible. So now I've separated them into songs. So now I've it's allowed me to like organize my thoughts a bit more, if that makes sense. Like
totally
in my
get
head,
it.
like this is what this means, and that's what that means. And yeah.
Wow, because you're really like putting a song to the feeling and to the emotion and to the really.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, and you're right. You only had written one song by yourself for the last album.
Yeah, that was the only. Four Pink Walls was the only one without Sebastian on that album. Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird one. It's cool though. Yeah, it's about like. That one was just about like following my dream of getting out of my room, and it was very like the whole album. The last album was like so 16 years old of me, like 17 years old of me, you know, very much like rebellious, like following your dream, fist in the air, like woo. But then you get a little roughed up in life, and then you write this album.
And what is this? How would you give me a sentence on this album and the period in your life that it's kind of trying to represent? What is
How
it?
would I guess this is like, man, this is more of just like a reflection, I think. It's like the audible version of just sitting alone with yourself, I think, and just reflecting and feeling everything at once, even if it's like a lot, and just like allowing yourself to think and feel. And I don't know, that may sound really stupid. I sound like I'm such a hippie right now. Like, allow yourself to think and feel. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
But a lot of people in your position could forget to do that because you go from one thing to another super quickly, and you get lost in the celebrity and the hustle about it. Like you are the opposite of diva. You are the opposite of Hollywood.
Oh, thanks.
Like,
Just to you guys, I'm really not like this. I'm just kidding.
You leave the studio. It's just
I leave out
a
like
fleet
tantrum.
of Suburbans.
Yeah, as soon as the cameras come off, I'm like swearing at all of you guys. No, but yeah, I don't know. I think I needed to do that. Like, this might not sound real to any of you, and I get that, but I genuinely I don't like a lot of parts of the industry. I'm afraid of fame. I need to get away from it a lot of the time because I think that I will go insane if I'm too in it, which is why I needed to backtrack on this album, and instead of go more into it, just kind of get out of it.
The opposite.
Yeah, just for my own sanity, not because I'm trying to be like different or whatever. It's just genuinely because I would go insane.
But you doing that makes your art more relatable than ever before. Because instead of diving headfirst into this beast that is the music industry that is like glossy and big and ridiculous, you know what I mean? You strip back. You went the opposite. You became more in touch with yourself. You're 19 now?
No, I'm gonna be 22 in July.
Oh my gosh!
I look
so
12. I know. I'm so old. I know.
But you kind of live life as a normal teenager, a normal young adult. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, if I weren't doing music, it would be hard to be this age because that's what happens in your 20s. But like doing it on top of that, like with all these eyes on you and this responsibility that's placed on you, and I kind of got the title of like the one who makes positive music for other people.
And positive music that's honest and open.
Yeah, which is great. But then it's like, man, if I'm not feeling that way some days, like, is that wrong? But I realized it's not, because it's always real. And I've never preached perfection. I've only ever tried to talk about honesty, and everything I've written in the past was 100% honest, and everything that I write now is still honest, and they're both still me. It's just on different days. Like some days you love yourself, some days you hate yourself, and that's reality.
Did you have to have like a conversation with yourself where you were like, you know what? Everything I do is going to be honest. I'm going to be 100% myself in the music that I create, and I'm okay with living my life this way.
Yeah, it's easier for me to do that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit selfish. Like it's like selfishly, I do it for me because I go insane. But also, I know that it's more beneficial to people who listen to me. And now, like the listeners I have, they're there because of that, you know. And why would I like switch up on them and be like, never mind, haha. Like I want to have something for them. I want something that can help them out and like give them a shoulder to lean on if they need it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm going through it too.
Well, how hard is it to listen to yourself? Because in the song, did you say, starting to look like Miss Know-It-All, can't take her own advice? So how is it to look in the mirror and be like, this is what you should do?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, again, like that's just kind of a reference to my other stuff where it's like scars and all these songs about like loving yourself, which I believe, but some days it was hard for me to believe. And I'm like, I'm the one who made these songs and I can't even take my own advice. I'm telling everyone else this stuff, but some days I can't even take it. And it was important for me to be honest and say, hey, I'm not perfect at this either. Like I am right with you. And that's what I think was missing in the last album. Was just more of my side to show them like not only is there someone that understands them, there's someone who's like literally right there with them. Yeah.
Catholic school, that's where you went growing up.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah.
Is there anything from Catholic school that you keep with you today?
My uniform, I still have it. My blazer with the shoulder pads.
Yeah, I'm killing it.
Yeah. Oh man, jeez. Yeah, I think what was really cool about the school that I went to, I grew up in Brampton, Ontario, which is a really multicultural place. And even though I went to a Catholic school, there were different religions there. So we learned kids with different religions there that attended the school too. So we, like in religion class, we learned about a different religion like every chapter.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and like it just really opens your eyes and opens you up to everybody. And I grew up loving everyone, understanding everyone, and it wasn't a weird thing. It was normal to us. That was my norm, which I really am grateful for because now I have knowledge of different religions. I have knowledge of different kinds of people. I grew up around everybody, and like it was a good thing. I'm glad
Empathy and appreciation.
Yeah, empathy and appreciation.
Which both things really, you know, two of the things that really could have brought you to this moment right now. You know, making art for everybody.
For everybody, exactly.
Do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
First, oh my goodness. I mean, with the exception of like this band I had, I use this word very loosely, with my cousins.
What was the band called?
Family band.
They were called the Lilacs.
Oh,
Yes.
very hippy dippy.
Yeah. We had a song called Let Me Be Your Friend. That was our big hit.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that was probably the first song I ever like thought was good. It's awful. It's awful.
Dude, you can't say that and not like give me a little bit of it.
I don't even remember it. I wrote it on a typewriter. I probably still have it. I think I posted it somewhere. Oh, I don't remember the lyrics. It was just bad. I don't even want to sing them. But yeah, it was awful. That was probably the first one that I thought was like, whoa, this is great. But then I think Four Pink Walls was like the first song I ever finished and recorded, which ended up on an album, which is probably not a good idea to have like your actual first good song. But yeah, that was probably the first one I ever actually recorded. The other ones like I would record in my room for fun, but never like that.
But I want to hear Let Me Be Your Friend.
You know what? I'm going to find it.
Greatest hits album, Alessia Cara.
Exactly. Let me be. Like, that's so. Why? Let me be your friend.
It's not. You don't sound desperate at all.
Yeah, right. Honestly, it's so bad.
What surprised you about the music industry so far?
Like in a good way or in a bad way, or either. Well, first of all, I think how small it is. I never realized that it was this small. Like, everybody knows everybody.
It's crazy.
I thought it was massive, but it's such a bubble. Like, we think it's like, because it's our lives, like, we think it's this massive thing. It's our everyday, but it's like this tiny. What else? I don't know. It's kind of like, some parts of it are really not nice, which I had to find out the hard way. Like, there's a lot of taking advantage, and especially, like, as a young girl who, like, looks 13, like that's even worse because no one takes you seriously.
No, people just automatically assume that like you're naive and you have no idea.
Of course. But on the other end, I have to say, like, there's been some really, really great people too. Like, and there are people who genuinely care about the music. I mean, like you guys, and like people on my team that even like with just letting me do this thing on my own and like trusting that and like being in my corner about it. Like it's the best. Like you
can't
have
ask
people
for
who care
anything.
about you. Yeah, which is
so cool.
that's really cool too. Yeah.
And you're coming off a Grammy win, man.
I know. I just got it in the mail the other day. It's so weird.
You just got it?
I know. I just came, but it just bleh.
Where do you keep it?
I don't know yet. I have it in my room. I don't know where to put it. Like, where is it? Where do you put it?
Carry it with me everywhere. Make a necklace out
That's
of
what I
it.
said. I'm gonna put a chain on it.
Yeah,
and,
right.
like,
Put it somewhere for everyone to
Hey, guys.
see. You got a lot of hate for that. Put it somewhere. It's like, this is mine.
I know I did. Did get a lot of hate for that.
Wait,
Which I don't get.
Excuse me.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that was weird.
You have to block that out of your mind, obviously.
Yeah, you'd think, but like when you'd think I would, but no, I do. I think that one was just tough because it's like something it's such an innocent dream, and then like when that happens to you, it's like, well, then you just took like the purity of this dream away because now you're bringing in politics and timing. And I think I don't want to say too much on that because I don't want to like get too negative, but I think the one thing that bothered me about that, or that was kind of disappointing, was that like there were so many women and men too that were like, you know, talking about feminism and the lack of representation for women that night. And then you have like the one woman who was represented,
And
not by choice, like she just happened to, I didn't choose it. But then people were upset because it wasn't the right woman. And I think there's an issue, there's a bit of hypocrisy there when, I don't know, I just think personally you shouldn't get to pick and choose your feminism. Like if you're a feminist, you should, you know, like just because I wasn't the right woman, I didn't deserve it, you know, but I worked just as hard as everyone there, so.
Amen.
And I didn't ask, for the record. I even asked to not be submitted, and I found out that I was submitted the same way everyone else did, like when I saw a billboard of myself. I'm like, oh, well, that went out the window. But
First of all, the first of many Grammys, and
Thank you.
knock on wood, and second, that gave me chills. And when that all happened, you handled that whole thing with class and just professionalism and maturity beyond.
Thank you.
Really, truly. I mean,
Thank you.
Forever.
It's hard. You're torn between like, should I say something, should I not? But I just felt like I wanted to because I don't know. It's something I've always wanted, and I didn't want it to get ruined by.
no, don't let these strangers cheapen it.
Yeah, whatever.
Why didn't you want to be submitted?
Because I just didn't want that to happen because I knew that was going to happen, and I already submitted the year before. So I was like, you know what, let me just not this year. And like there were so many great artists that I felt deserved it, and I was like, I think, you know, I just didn't want to get involved, but it happened anyway. And like when that happens, you can either get upset about it or be like, this is what I've always wanted, cool, I'm here. And if I weren't eligible, then
You wouldn't be there.
I wouldn't be allowed to win,
Yeah.
but I did. And nobody there is a new artist. I think there'd be a problem if you were brand new and then you won a Grammy. Like everybody has been working at this their whole lives. Nobody's new. We've all been doing it forever. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Beautiful. Collaborations. You're doing a song with Kyle right now.
Yeah.
When you listen for collaborations or somebody sends you a record, what do you listen for?
Well, first, I mean, I listen for obviously lyrics. That's the first thing. Like, is this me? Can I say something on this where it sounds like me? Yeah, that's pretty much it. And like, honestly, like sonically too, I'm not gonna jump on anything that just sounds like nothing like me just because. But thankfully, all the collaborations, or most of them anyway, well, yeah, all of them have been like,
They're great.
like songs that I really
Yeah.
like songs I genuinely like. I would never get on anything I didn't like, trust me. But I've listened to Kyle like since high school. Like his first like earlier records like helped get me through high school and stuff, and like it's so cool that he wanted me on his song. I love that song, and it's kind of perfect with Growing Pains too, because it's like, you know, we're still babies, we're still young, we have so much time to learn, and I thought it was just perfect. So
It's a beautiful song.
thanks. Well, it's not mine, but thanks. I wrote my part is mine. But
Did you write your part?
yeah.
Did you write your part on 1-800?
Yes, I did.
Cool. So
Yeah.
Bobby sends you this record. Who sends it to you? How does 1-800 hit your inbox?
He called me actually on the phone, which is like, that never happens. I was, you know, like when it's like, have you ever, okay, I'm going to get sidetracked, but like there's this comedian, Sebastian Maniscalco, who talks about like when you're doorbell used to ring, and now when it rings now, you're like, you're weirded out. It was kind of how I felt. Like my phone rang, and it was Logic. I'm like, what do I do? Like I don't talk on the phone anymore.
I haven't talked to the phone in 5 years.
I know, this is so weird. No, I'm just kidding. I talk on the phone. But anyway, it was weird. So I picked it up, and he was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, like, I'm going to send you a song that I really want you to be on. And he explained his whole album concept and the concept of the song. And again, it just hit close to home. I have a lot of people in my life that are dealing with that, have dealt with depression and things like that. And I mean, me too, like as we just talked about, like moments of just feeling like nothing's worth it and that you're not good enough. And I just felt like it would help a lot of people, especially because there's like a lack of that in the mainstream world. So
And it did.
Yeah, it did, which was really nice. It was, I'm glad that it did. Yeah, that's a cool song. I'm glad to have been a part of that.
Is there a record of yours that you truly feel will be around forever?
Man, I think I don't know. I don't want to say that because I don't want to sound like a weirdo. But I think "Scars to Your Beautiful" has definitely been my most impactful song that I can only hope will stick around forever, because I've seen what it's done for a lot of people, and it's been like beyond anything that I would have ever imagined. Because it started off as like just almost talking to myself, and then hoping that people would hear it, and then it kind of took like legs and wings of its own. So
when you hear stories of the impact of one of your songs, how does that make you feel? Because like you said, while you're talking about that, I'm just picturing those types of stories that could relate to Scars to Your Beautiful. That's a lot of emotion to carry. Mm-hmm. It's also a little bit of pressure.
Yeah. That's the whole responsibility thing. Is like, it's beautiful though. Like I don't ever want to discredit that, because it's amazing. It makes me so emotional every time. Like, because it's one thing to see numbers and kind of get an idea of how many people are listening, but then to have them come up to you individually, tell you like their personal stories and how it's affected them. That's like, my goodness, it's beautiful. It's bigger than anything and more beautiful than anything I could have ever imagined. But of course there's that responsibility of like, I don't want to ever let these people down, and like I don't ever want to, I don't know. I just want to keep doing that. I want to, even if it's like in a different way, or even if it's not always positive, I still want to have that effect. And sometimes when you feel like you're down, or maybe you're not living up to that, that's where you kind of feel like, oh, am I being ungrateful, or am I going to let them down? But
you can't be like that all the time. You gotta escape from that, so then you can keep supplying art that way.
Exactly. And again, like, just because you feel down doesn't mean you're wrong for it. Like more than likely, like people feel like that too, and it's important to get out every side of yourself.